to record this Zoom as well, and then that way she can watch it afterwards. So hang on a sec and let me screen share and we will hear Phyllis's story.
Hi, everybody. I was so excited when Joanna asked if I'd share my story with you on the team call, and I'm going to try and kind of keep it short. I don't know. I've had a pretty colorful health history, but what's exciting about it is the fact that, we all have a story. We all have a health story. And I just feel so blessed to be where I am today. And I know that I can really give a lot of thanks for that to Plexus and the science behind these products. I am a big believer, y'all. I have done a lot of research on the products and the science, and I am just so, I feel blessed. I feel blessed to not only be using the products, but to have them as a part of my life and to be able to share them with other people. It's huge for me, and I'm so excited for that. So my health history started really as a baby. My mother had had some extreme health situations and was not supposed to be able to have any children. And ta-da, I showed up. And because the baby gets their microbiome from the mother during the birth process, I was born with very low immunities, and I experienced a lot of health issues through my growing up years. I had a lot of stomach issues. I really believe I had fibromyalgia from the time I was young. I never remembered, even in my youth, feeling good. Feeling good. So if you see me on Facebook, you'll hear me talking about feeling better a lot. That's a term for me that was big. I wanted to feel better. So anyway, as life progressed, I was diagnosed over time with 5 different cancers or precancer conditions. The most recent has been gastric carcinoid. With that, I underwent a lot of procedures, and it ended with they actually did a gastric resection where they took out part of my stomach. Now, through all of this time, I'm sure you can imagine that I tried a myriad of things to feel better. I had done a vitamin regimen prior to the gastric carcinoid that had helped, that I had seen some improvement with. But after the resection and everything, there was this gradual drop off. And it was very gradual. I was losing my energy, and I was losing my excitement for life. And I just felt bad all the time. I was having migraines continuously. And things just weren't going well. It took me twice as long to get anything done. And bottom line, I just felt old, and I'm aging, and I know that's a reality of life, but I mean, I felt old. The activities that used to take me, a couple of hours were taking me 3 or 4 days. And I just knew something wasn't right. And a friend, Emily Petefield, who's also on our team, she shared her story and her journey with Plexus. And when I heard that, I thought, hey, maybe this would work for me. And so I dove into it. I began researching. First time I'd ever heard about the gut microbiome, and I really looked into it. And then, of course, I'll be real honest, that 60-day money back guarantee was the clincher. I decided, hey, I don't have anything to lose. And so I bought it. I have since taken all of the fact sheets to my gastroenterologist, because one of my goals is to get off my current stomach medication, which is a proton pump inhibitor. And if you're familiar with those at all, you know that they hinder the body from absorbing magnesium. Low magnesium mimics fibromyalgia, as well as every organ in your body uses magnesium to stay at its peak performance. So I want off that stuff. Well, according to my gastroenterologist, I will never be able to go off of that medication. Well, I'm a little bit stubborn, and I'm a whole lot hopeful. And so, with his approval, I have now cut it in half. My goal is to get off of it. And I feel very strongly that if with Plexus and all of the improvements that I've seen in my health, that is in my future. And I am still working towards that end goal. I love my Plexus products. I know you guys are on them too. And you probably, like I said, you have your stories too. I am so thrilled with the results that I have seen in my health. I went from low energy, migraines daily, chronic pain. I have, like I said, since I was a kid, I feel like I've always hurt. I've always had chronic pain. And I will tell you, I still have occasional bad days, but not nearly as bad as I have seen in the past. And I just plan on them continuing to get better. So thank you so much for letting me share with you. And I love to hear your guys' stories too, and how we encourage one another on our health journey. And so my wish for you, feel better. You guys, God made everything we need. Plexus makes it user friendly. Y'all have a great day. Bye. Hi, everybody. I was so excited when Joanna asked if I'd share my story with you on the team call, and I'm
Oops, I had it. How cute is she, you all? I love that. God made everything we need, but Plexus made it user friendly. That's like the best quote ever. I got to meet Phyllis at our leaders retreat on this past weekend, and she is so sweet. And she shared her story with us, and I was just blown away. And it just made me so happy and so excited for her with getting her medication cut in half. Like, that is incredible when they tell you you're going to be on it for life, and yet here she is, cut in half with the dosage. And so I was like, you have to share that story. So thank you, Phyllis, for taking the time to record that and share your story. And I'm going to have to ask her to do some product training on our team page, because she sounds like she's so smart with that. I was just listening about the magnesium. I was like, I didn't actually know all of that. I'm not a product guru as far as like ingredients and stuff. Kind of makes my brain hurt a little bit to like know all that stuff. It's not in my personality to dig deep into things like that, but I love hearing from people who are smart like that. So Phyllis, I'm going to be messaging you about that. Okay, so next up, we are going to have Katie Ciccarelli hop on and share some training with us. Katie, go for it.
Hey everyone, thank you guys for taking time out of your evening to jump on here. It's just always awesome to have such good participation. Also, I saw Ashley had jumped on tonight. She has signed, I don't even know, 8 or 9 people since she joined towards the end of December. She's newlywed, just got married this past fall, summer, and I'm just really thankful for her. And she is just super excited about it. And just so many of you. Alicia is going to be sharing her story later. Shout out to her. She signed, I don't even know, probably like 20 people by now, but she's just incredible. Anyway, just all of you are on fire, and I have just been so inspired. For all of you who made the attempt, or they made the point to go to our retreat, leaders are born at events, and I truly believe that. And seeing your passion when we've gotten back from that retreat has just been absolutely inspiring. So what we're going to be talking about for my little few minutes here is just daily posting. I know I would not be where I am right now today if Joanna had not set the example for me by daily posting about her products. Before I joined Plexus, I had another friend who had given me a week sample of the Slim and I don't even know what the other pill was. It was either BioCleanse or Accelerator, but it was something white. But anyway, I loved it. I loved the flavor of the Slim, and I thought I was feeling like pretty good on it. I had energy. But had I joined that friend, she was an older lady, who wasn't really into selling the business at that point. She was just kind of sharing because it had helped her so much. She has since started working the business over the last 4 years or so. But had I joined her, I'm pretty sure I would never have started a business with Plexus. But Joanna always stood out to me personally as a friend in my newsfeed, because she posted very consistently. And I know that that is what drew me to her. In fact, my mom's the one. Some of you met my mom this past week. She uses my Instagram. She's this little secret stalker, and or my Facebook, and she's like, you know, that Joanna, like, she knows what she's talking about over there. So if you need to order from someone, she's your girl. I can tell she knows what she's talking about. And I thought the same thing. So I'm just here to talk very briefly about posting consistently. And I know a lot of you are doing amazing, especially coming back from a retreat. We have lots of amazing, beautiful photos from our sweet friends Alicia and Faith and Susan and Julie, who took the time to take our photos. It's always easier to post when you have content, right? So a few tips for you all that have helped me over the past few years. Number one, find a friend or your spouse or somebody that you could even hire, even if they're not like a photographer, but somebody, any teenager in your life could use a cell phone, right? They are good at photos. So even if you pay them $20 to come over for an hour, half an hour to shoot a bunch of photos for you around your house, or just whatever your brand is that you share with social media, or just getting some business pictures of you working on your phone or your computer or your iPad or whatever. It is worth that investment. It's a tax write-off, and also it gives you amazing content. So be thinking about that. If you don't have a husband that can help you with that, or kids that can help you with that, or a good friend in your life that can jump over at your house and help you get some pictures taken, find somebody who will, or buy yourself a tripod with a clicker and take your own photos. Tons of Instagrammers do that, and they're beautiful. So that's just one tip that has really helped me. My husband's gotten to be really good at taking photos. But when I first started, I took everything, and most of it was like selfies, and it's not amazing, or my phone camera with a timer. Use what you've got, but just take a time where you, maybe it's a Sunday afternoon when you're all fixed up, just change your outfits a couple of times, take a picture of your slim in different parts of your house, and have that content in an album on your phone, so that when it comes time to post, it's not like this huge ordeal that you're like, oh, I'm not ready today, I don't have anything to post, I'm not going to post. Because consistency is everything, and people are really watching. I signed a girl last night who's been watching for at least 2 years, and she finally reached out. And probably because I posted so much over the weekend about Plexus, she was just kind of like, okay already. So get somebody to help you take some photos so you have content, because then it takes that drudgery away from posting or not knowing what to post. Another thing that I would suggest is when you see people post something, save it, whether that's copying and pasting it into your notes, or whether that's just screenshotting it or clicking the little save button on Facebook or Instagram. Save those posts. You can click the save button on Instagram and save it to an actual album, and you can put it like posts for the future or whatever. And then you can go back to that person's post and or grab off their ideas or whatever. That's just a really, really great way to have a really good content without having to like sit around for an hour and think of it on your own. We all live really busy lives, and just everything that we can think of to help us just do our job a little bit smarter and not so harder. So use that save button, screenshot your post, save them to an album in your phone, like posts, to use in the future. And maybe it's not even just business posts. Maybe it's just life posts that you maybe have a little bit of difficulty, figuring out what you should post. Save those people's posts and use them later. Don't necessarily like grab Alicia's post from today and use it today. Give it some time, especially if you have a pretty tight network with her. But utilize your save buttons, because we have so many really great people with lots of product knowledge, so many amazing testimonials. Like all of us that came home from the retreat have pretty much shared a story of how you started, or why you're using Plexus, or something you love about it. Go back to each of those friends and screenshot and save their posts to share later. So you can say, my friend Susan shared this and it just blew me away. Or my friend Jenny is not, doesn't have this issue anymore, because you probably have a picture taken now with some of those friends that you can share their stories with. So make sure you're utilizing other people's stories for that third-party validation as well. And then my last tip is just maybe take a day for the week and just create some content. Figure out what you want to talk about throughout the week, and maybe just take one day and get it all set out so that the whole week you can share without having to put a lot of time in, but something that's going to still be meaningful. It goes with your brand. And we've talked about brand before. If you need help figuring that out, just message one of your leaders or me or whoever. But those are just some tips that I do. So grab a friend to help you take pictures so that it's not a big drudge for posting. Make sure you're saving other posts that you see if they're really amazing. Even yesterday, and this isn't bragging, but I commented on somebody's thing, like, I forget whose it was, but it was just something like, I didn't know I had digestive issues until they were gone. And I was like, oh my goodness, that would be a great post. Like, I could just take a picture of myself with my products and be like, I didn't even know I had struggled with digestive issues until I didn't anymore. And like, that's nothing on me, but just remember, like, even comments like that that you think of, something that simple could be a really, really meaningful post. So anyway, I hope some of that was helpful or all of it was helpful for somebody. And I'm thankful, Joe, for you letting me share tonight.
I love all of that. It is so important with your posting. It's so true because and like she said, work with what you've got. When I first started, you guys, if I compared myself to when I first started to now, like I would be like, if I was looking at Joanna 4 or 5, whatever, 6 years ago and comparing it to me, Joanna, like my social media, I'd be like, oh my word, she was really bad, like really bad at working social media. But yet my business grew and I slowly learned and I just kept doing it. And over time I learned. And so that's how you do it. And I would use other people's posts and get inspiration from them. And now a lot of times I can create my own posts because I've learned how to do it by using other people's and following them. And so it really does. That consistency is key. So thank you, Katie. Love that. Okay, Alicia is going to share with us her tips on recruiting. It was so much fun getting to meet her at Leaders Retreat. Alicia and I met on Facebook, I don't know, two years or so ago, maybe ish. And we've never met in person until Leaders Retreat this past weekend. And it was a blast. She is so much fun. We laughed and laughed and laughed. She's hilarious. And so she's going to share with us some tips. So take it away.
Thank you. So Katie, thank you so much for those tips. Those, like, literally, it's crazy how much I was like looking at my notes and everything, and about how much those different things that she said go along the same lines with what I'm saying. And I can definitely tell you that she is right. So first of all, I obviously am not qualified for this, but at the same time, we are all here and we're all learning. Like, even Joanna will tell you there are things that she learns on a daily basis. I'm sure that she's like, oh, I didn't know about, like, I didn't even think about that one. Okay. So point being, always be teachable and understand that, like, hey, there's always something new, especially with Facebook and Instagram. Like, they're always changing the algorithms and all this junk. Anyways, so we got to keep up with what's going on with that. And so I think one of the main things that I find is consistency in posting, okay, which I do a little bit different than Katie, but basically along the same lines. So when I'm dressed up, I take pictures as much as possible, because I don't put on makeup on every single day. I'm sorry, y'all. I know y'all all put on makeup, a full face of makeup, do your hair every single day, but I do not. Anyways, so that being the case, I try to, like, on Sundays when I'm dressed up for church or something, I get my husband, I go outside, like literally in my backyard. It's nothing extravagant. Okay. And I get him to take a picture of me. And anytime I look semi-decent, I take a picture, I take a selfie with my Slim, just so that I can have it, so that, hey, when I need a post, I have a picture already. I don't have to worry about that part of it. Because if I do, then I don't post, because I'm like, I look awful today, you know? So anyways, so that being the case, which I'm sure, I know all of y'all are doing so amazing on that. Like, I have seen some of y'all's posts and they're incredible. So I actually, at the beginning of each month, I know you're going to think I'm crazy, but I also run a photography business, so I have to somewhat be organized. And so at the beginning of each month, I write out 30 days of posts. And I usually take one day off. I usually take like Sunday or something off, just because, hey, everybody needs a break, right? Including the other people on the other side seeing the Plexus posts. So I try to kind of like give them a reprieve, but also it's really for me, okay? Because it's nice to have that one day that, like, okay, I'm not working on anything. So I also post on stories every single day. Stories are a little bit harder, I find, because I'm not gonna lie, like Katie said, if I can find somebody else's post, I actually take it, copy and paste. She was talking about saving it. So I copy and paste it, put it in my notes, and I have like posts, and that's what it's called. And literally there's like it's like a scroll down. Like there's tons of stuff on there. And that's where I get my posts, because I can't come up with this stuff every day. Like I'm not that good. So so that being the case, I have to come up with that every single day, and I can't do that. So therefore I have it on notes. And so I originally, when I in December, I kept posting consistently. Now I knew before December came, I told my husband December's not going to be a really great month. And I actually ended up with like 10 more points than I ever have. And I was like, okay, how did that happen? I really still don't understand, quite honestly. But that being the case, I knew December was going to be slow, but I kept posting, because otherwise people forget. Like same thing with my photography business. Like if you don't post consistently, people literally forget that you're a photographer. I'm like, literally, I do this every day, y'all. So point being, people do the exact same thing with Plexus. Like they forget that that's even a thing that you do all the time. So that being the case, I try to post consistently. So in December, I didn't really have it. I had one person in December, and I was a little bit like, I told my husband, like, I really hope this like gets better in January. And then they had like the whole Zoom meeting with like Tarl and Alec and all these people, and about how the super sprints or whatever the things are called, I can't remember. Great. Anyways, what a leader I am. Anyways, I can't remember what they're called, but she said something 90-day sprints. Thank you. So that being the case, I took those 90-day sprints and said, hey, I think I can make it to this point. But at the same time, I was a little discouraged. But even though I was discouraged, I kept posting because it's important to post. And I find that it's real important to have a personal post up in there. Like I try to tell my people, like one personal post, one Plexus post, because people do not want to see all Plexus posts. Okay. Like I don't like when I scroll through other people's pages. Yes, don't puke, Plexus. I don't like when I scroll through other people's pages is literally all something they're selling. I'm like, do you have a personal life? Like, I know you do. So I try to post something either funny, something that I thought was funny. Okay, it's not always hilarious, but I mean, sometimes I think things are funny that other people don't. But I try to post something like that, or I post an interactive post. That just basically means that it gets people commenting. I find those on Pinterest. So if you literally look up interactive post on Pinterest, boom, you got you one. Okay, literally just post it and people will comment. They do great. They do just what they're supposed to. Anyways, and so I do that, and then I keep a calendar and I reach out to people. I will not say that I reach out to like 3 to 5 people every single day, because normally I ended up doing like, okay, I have time on this day, and so therefore I'm going to reach out to 25 people. That's kind of how I work it instead, because it just works better for me. You don't have to do that. If it's too overwhelming, I would do like 3 to 5 each day. Where I get those is from when I look through my stories, my last post that's about Plexus, my last story about Plexus, the people that are on that list that viewed that looked through every single one of those slides, I'm like, shoot, if you got to the 10th slide, you're obviously somewhat interested, even though they'll say they're not. I'm like, yes, you are. You wouldn't sit there and watch all them things. Anyways, so therefore I take those people, and that's who I reach out to, because sometimes it gets kind of confusing, like who to reach out to, who you haven't, blah, blah. I try also not to reach out to anybody that I have not sent something else to, like, I put welcome on my thing. I usually say like, hey, I hope you have a great weekend. Like, that's it. Like, but you don't want to seem like you literally don't care about the person, because you do. Okay. Like, and you should. I mean, if you don't, then there's another problem. But anyways, so I try to make sure I say like, hey, I hope you have a great weekend or something like that. And so that they can, so that they have some sort of like, I'm a nice person. Like, I really am looking out for your best interest. And so I try to make sure also that I have people kind of lined up. Okay, like I don't have my calendar in here right now, but I literally have people that like have said, I have a planner, okay? And in my planner, I have names, okay? I have names one after the other, but then I also have names like in the actual days. Like I literally have somebody in June right now that I know that in June she's having a baby in like May. So I'm thinking by June she'll be ready to buy Plexus. So that being the case, because she wants it, but she doesn't want to take it while she's pregnant. And I understand that some people are real finicky about that. So I have her in June and I have her little name down there. And I know that, hey, when June comes, I can follow up with her and say, hey, there's a sale going on right now, whenever there's a sale, and maybe she'll sign up. Okay. So I take every time, every person that I talk to, I put in that calendar. I know that's really, but it works for me. It works great. And so therefore, when I go through my calendar, like every day, it's not, that's another thing with the reach outs. I know who I'm reaching out to. I've got 3 people or so on that day that I say, hey, I haven't reached out to this person in 2 months or whatever, you know? So try to say happy birthday every day. That's another thing that I fail at, but I try to. And if I don't, literally no big deal, really. Okay, you just say, hey, I'm so sorry, I know I'm late, but I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. And most people are like, oh, like thanks for taking the time. Even then, even though you're late, I don't care. Like, I'm happy you wish me happy birthday. Like, I would be anyways. So therefore, I think that really helps me out there. So I think, I know that was a lot of info, but get you a planner. Okay, it works great. Get you a list and put, okay, I've welcomed this person. I haven't reached out about Plexus with them, but I have said, hi, it's nice to meet you. It's nice to virtually meet you. I hope you have a great weekend. Like, you've reached out to them before. Now wait a month or so and then reach out to them again about Plexus rather than just, and that's the way I do it. And I'm not always successful, of course, but at the same time, I found that it really, really helps me and really, really helps my team. And I hope, and thank you everybody so much for your time. And I hope y'all have a great night.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much. And I like your calendar, like such a smart idea to keep track of everybody. And you're an incredible leader. Vonda is on the call and she's on Alicia's team and she signed someone today. So yay, Vonda, way to go. But I just, yeah, thank you so much. I love all of those tips. And it is true. Like if they watch all your slides and your stories, that does show that they're a little bit interested. And in worst case, they'll say, no, thanks. Okay, well, then moving on to the next person. But that is so good, you guys. So I hope you took notes. If not, this recording, it will be recorded. So you can go back and rewatch if you want to. Okay, you all. So I'm just going to do a quick, just end this with a little quick word of encouragement. First off, I wanted to shout out Gina Eversole as well. I see her on here. And she is a busy mom of lots of kiddos. I believe she homeschools as well. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think she homeschools. And she's signed 2 people this month. Like huge deal. Super excited for her. Her and her husband both work the business together, which is so fun. Okay, so I was reading this verse the other day in my devotions. And I was like, oh, that's so good. Like I somehow want to incorporate that into something in the team page or something. And so then our team call was coming up. So I just thought I would share on our team call. But it was Zechariah 4:10. And it says, for who hath despised the day of small things? And I love that because I think so often, I know because of talking with you all over the weekend and a lot of you, like we all struggle with this, with being down on ourselves or discouraged if we feel like we didn't get enough done in the day with our Plexus business, or we didn't hit a certain goal that we had for the month, or we're not at the rank we wanted to be. But this is what I'm encouraging you all to do is to, especially we just started 2021, the 90-day sprint, which is so fun. And so I know a lot of you have goals to hit certain prizes if you're going after the first or second or third or the top of the with the, you know, all the cash, whatever your goal is. So you have those goals that you're working towards. Focus on consistent action and leave the results up to the Lord. That's where it's at. And it's because the action, not, I think so often when we focus too much on the end result where we want to be, that huge goal, like we get frustrated when our progress seems slow, or when no one replied to our message, or we reached out to 20 people and 10 of them said no and the other 10 ignored, or whatever. And so sometimes that can frustrate us. And so the next day we might not do anything because we're like, well, I worked so hard yesterday, I'm just taking a break today because apparently I'm doing something wrong. But no, you're not necessarily doing anything wrong. There might be something you need to tweak here and there because we're all learning how to get better and developing the skills we need to be successful at this. But there are so many days that seem like nothing's happening. But when you're consistent and you keep doing the things and the action, like Alicia was saying, she didn't think she had a great December, which she grew 10 points. So that's huge. But she usually will sign up a lot of people in a month. And last month she signed one. And so she was like, oh, it's really slow. But she was still really consistent with working her business and posting and all the things. And so she's already signed 5 people this month because she was consistent. Even though it didn't seem like things were happening, the fruit is coming because of that consistency. So what can you do? Like, just think every day, like, what can I do today to move the needle forward? I can message that person. I can follow up with that person, or do my customer care, or do all my reach outs like Alicia does all of them in one day, whatever works for you. And what you need to do for that day. Don't look yes, you want to have a big goal and an end result and all that and a timeline. That's all important, but don't focus so much on it where it can overwhelm you and you just can kind of freeze because it's so big. So just thinking every day, like, what can I do today to move the needle forward? Messaging, reaching out, customer care, or filling out your IPA sheet. However you work it for your week, if you do the IPA sheet every day, or if you bulk it up, doing the reach outs one day, follow ups the next day. But that is the consistency really is the key. I know we talk a lot about this only because I see so often that is where a lot of us struggle, is the consistency. And I've seen from my own journey and so many other people's journey that are successful at this, is that is the, like, one of the number one things that they can look back to and see, like, the reason why they're at their rank that they are, their goals where they are is because of that consistency. And so that is my little word of encouragement to you all. You can do this. You've got this. Just really quick though, we wanted to open it up to see if anyone had any questions about anything that was shared for Alicia or for Katie or for myself before we end this call. You can go ahead and unmute yourself, ask a question if you have it. So I'll give you all a couple minutes. If anyone has a question, I would love to hear, while we're waiting to see if anyone has a question, if everyone would type in the comments what your goal is for this 90-day sprint. Like, what prize are you going after? I love prizes, so I work harder usually when there's prize. That's just my personality, but yes. Oh, all 6. That's so exciting. Yes, I love it. My goal is the top one too. I mean, a computer, like, that's pretty awesome. And cash, always, money talks. I'm kind of, I mean, you can do so much with it. I always like, and it's fun to think about, like, when you earn that money, like, what are you going to do with it? Like, why do you want to earn that money? Like, what is your goal with that? Yes, I love that. You've got this, Rachel. My daughter the other day, she was like, so are you in the top 12 yet? And because she wants to go to Paris so bad. And when she found out that was the prize, she was so excited. She's like, oh, you're earning it. Like, that's how she said it. Like, so, like, seriously, like, you're earning it. And then she's like, are you in the top 12 yet? I'm like, well, it's a year thing and it's a top 50. So not yet, but we're getting there. So anyway, she's coming with me. So I know. Oh, I love it all, you all. Yes, and the money, it's like, it's what you can do with the money. That is so exciting. So yeah. Yep. You guys have got this. I posted those trackers in the in the chat where you can kind of track it, but there will be a tracker coming, like the Leaders Retreat tracker that Plexus puts up in your virtual office that can track it for you. But the paper one is really, really good too, as far as like kind of helping you know what you need to do to hit the goals that you want. So you can, like, both of them will be super helpful, using the paper one to mark it out, like what you need to be doing and actions you need to be taking to hit your goals. And then the Plexus one on your site will also help you keep track. So you're not having to like mentally think like, oh, what points am I at? Because especially next month, you're going to get even more points from that retention. All right, well, it would be so fun. I know. I'm so excited for y'all. I know so many of us were going to be in Paris. Like, it's possible. Every single one of you can earn it. Like, because of how they stacked this contest, it is friendly. Like, it's user friendly for every single rank. It's not to where, like, if you're a jewel, you have way more advantages. I mean, if you have a bigger team, yeah, and it's you know, in momentum, you're working hard and your team is all working hard, yes, you're going to probably earn more points. But they used to have it to where you would get all these points for different things that usually you wouldn't be getting unless you were a jewel. And so they thought really hard about, and I love how intentional they were with this contest. And I don't want you to think if you're silver or not even silver, like that could never be me, because it could be you, because you have a whole year and you can get so much done in a year, like a lot in a year. So don't, what's it called? Can't think of the word I'm thinking of. I don't know. Don't discredit yourself.
Underestimate.
Yes, underestimate yourself.
Yeah.
If you have a dream or a goal, yeah, go for it, Katie.
I was just going to say, you know, there's 50 spots to go to Paris, but if you earn that top prize and all that cash and you save it throughout the year, you can pay your way to Paris. Like, you can grab a friend or a spouse still. So I was thinking that, I thought, you know what, maybe, you know, 50 spots fill up, but like if you work really hard and earn those top prizes, and put it away, you would be able to pay for yourself anywhere probably in the world. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, absolutely. And Rachel asked, when the tracker comes out, will it already have track 2 signed? Yes, they'll put in everyone who signed, so you'll see them pop up on there. But yeah, like the last convention we went to in person, where people would go on stage and things, there were people who earned the top prize, like the top grand prize, which was like $5,000, which stacked with all the other prizes of like $2,000. It was like lots of cash. They were senior, correct me if I'm wrong, Katie, but I believe there were senior golds who earned that prize. And I know this for a fact, so many jewels did not earn it. So that shows you it matters, like your actions, no matter what your rank is, your actions, your consistency, what you're doing every day, that's what matters the most. So super exciting. Okay, you all, I will let you all go. Thank you so much for taking the time to hop on. We're going to be doing these team calls every other week or twice a month on Tuesday. So maybe it might not necessarily fall every other week, but it'll be 2 Tuesdays a month. I will be messaging people on this call who I see to be sharing, because I want to be, we have so many incredible people on our team, like so many skills, and there's so many smart people. And who was it that was saying, like, oh, Alicia was like, I can never think of all that. Well, because we all have different personalities and we think different ways, and we can learn so much from each other. And that's what I'm excited about these calls for, because we have so many people that have so much to offer. And we're going to be hearing from so many incredible people throughout these team calls. So have a wonderful night, and we'll see you next time.